From the family that owns all of the banks in England, to the family that has arguably funded both sides of the war since the 1900s, to the family that is worth the GDP of two countries combined. Join us as we go through the 8 most powerful families that secretly run the world. Okay, let's spill some tea. Number 8. The Kennedys. If you've ever wondered how the world really works, this bloodline is an interesting starting point. The Kennedy family is an American political family with a long history of American politics, entertainment, and public service. Patrick Joseph P.J. Kennedy was the first Kennedy elected to public office after the family moved from Ireland. John Fitzgerald Kennedy, the 35th President of the United States, was also a member of this family. He was the youngest person to win and assume power as the President of the United States before his assassination on Friday, November 22, 1963. Till this day, the Kennedy family is an established political family in the United States, having produced various political office holders that include a president, 3 senators, 3 ambassadors, and other notable office holders. Number 7. The House of SAUD. Unlike the Kennedys, the House of SAUD is a royal family from the Middle East. The family is a descendant of Mohammed bin Saud, and they have consistently ruled the kingdom since 1774. The family is currently headed by Salman al-Saud, who also doubles as the King of Saudi Arabia. The family controls 20% of the world's oil reserves. This means that they rule the world in a way we do not realize. Oil-rich countries no doubt have the edge over other countries without oil. Now, considering Saudi Arabia controls 20%, that is definitely a big deal. Although no one knows exactly how much the royal family is worth, they're estimated to be worth a staggering sum of $1.4 trillion. That's like Belgium's and Sweden's GDP combined. Number 6. The Rothschild family. Here is another old money and power. The Rothschild family is a wealthy family of Jewish bankers and Israeli politicians. The family rose to prominence through Mayer Rothschild, who established his banking business in the 1760s. Mayer managed to expand his banking business through his 5 sons, who extended his banking business to other parts of the world. During the 19th century, the Rothschilds were the world's wealthiest family, before spiraling in the 20th century. After the revolution in 1848, they had huge impacts in encouraging and discouraging wars between governments. In fact, every war after that had the family's involvement in one way or another. The family has been the subject of many conspiracy theories that include their involvement in the assassination of JFK, funding 9/11, and many more. Number 5. The Rockefellers. Silently loud. Yeah, that is the best oxymoronic combo to describe the Rockefellers. The Rockefellers are a wealthy American industrialist family known for their business interests in petroleum, banking, real estate, mining, and politics. The family fortune was made after John D. Rockefeller and his brother William A. Rockefeller founded Standard Oil, which was a monopoly. Today, Rockefeller's business interests have included petroleum, ExxonMobil, pharmaceuticals, Novartis, as well as banking institutions through Chase Manhattan Bank and other financial institutions, including Citibank. The Rockefellers were active during the 19th century and became known as one of the wealthiest families in the United States. During this period, they donated millions to charity. In modern times, they have become one of the most influential people in American history, with members that include former presidents and senators, such as Nelson Rockefeller, who served as vice president under Gerald Ford, and Winthrop Rockefeller, who served as governor of Arkansas. The family is also known for their philanthropic donations, with one of their most notable contributions being the Rockefeller Center. The building was commissioned by John D. Rockefeller Jr. and built in the 1930s as part of his business empire. Number 4. The Morgans. This family literally rules the banking world. They control much of our monetary system and own most of the world's banks, stock markets, mainstream media, and governments. The family was notably prominent from the late 19th century to the early 20th century. The family amassed an immense fortune through the work of John Pierpont, J.P. Morgan. In 1893, there was an overflow of U.S. surplus gold to foreign nations, almost crashing the U.S. economy. Meanwhile, John saw an opportunity that no other father did. He put together a group of starry-eyed bankers, which included the Rothschilds. Morgan then proceeds to use the U.S. bond to buy back gold from foreign investors. The gold and bond exchange allowed Morgan to control the U.S. gold supply effortlessly. He was also prominent for revolutionizing major industries like electricity, railroad, and steel. Morgan's involvement with major industries of the economy made it possible for him to manipulate the economy. Due to his influence in the economy, Morgan was able to get away with anything and everything. He slashed workers' wages and did all sorts of things. Well, not so much has changed about the family, and JP Morgan is, to this day, blamed for practices of predatory lending, which resulted in the 2008 global financial crisis. Number 3. The DuPonts. The DuPonts are an American family with a long history of involvement in the chemical industry. After being exiled from France during the French Revolution, the DuPonts settled in America and became prominent figures in business, politics, and military affairs. Many members of this family have been involved with several organizations, including Harvard University, Carnegie Mellon University, Yale University, and Massachusetts Institute of Technology. In the early 1900s, the DuPont family was shaken, like other monopolies, under the Sherman Antitrust Act, but eventually survived, maintaining a huge market share of the global munition industry. The DuPonts have also played a major role in developing new technologies that have helped shape our world today. For example, they pioneered new techniques for manufacturing nylon, a synthetic fiber used to make stockings. After the Soviets exploded the first atomic bomb in the 1950s for defense, the DuPont company synergized with the U.S. government to develop the hydrogen bomb to give the U.S. an edge over their competitors. Although the DuPont family is prominent, they are, however, associated with very little conspiracy theory. One of the very few conspiracy theories was that they were faulted for aiding the U.S.'s prohibition of hemp and cannabis in 1937 in a bid to protect its paper and nylon manufacturing. Number 2. The Windsor family. The Windsor family, or the Royal Family of Windsor, is basically the British royal family. They started their reign in 1917, and Prince Charles presently heads the dynasty after the demise of his mother, Queen Elizabeth II, a couple of months ago. All members are known to live a stealthy life away from public scrutiny, not until recently, due to the controversy surrounding the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, Prince Harry, and his wife. The Windsor family practically owns Britain, and beyond that, they have territories across the world that have been ceded to the family for ages. Number 1. The Bushes. Speaking of power and influence, the Bush family is a force to reckon with, not just in the US, but the whole world. The Bush family has been around since the 1600s, and they're still waxing strong today. The family is best known for George H.W. Bush, a former president, and his son, George W. Bush, who also served 2 terms as the president before leaving office in 2009. They are best known for their conservative politics, which has since been tainted with brushes of controversy due to their practices. Some allege that Neil Bush received sweetheart loans from Silverado Savings and Loan during his father's presidency. Others claim that Billy Graham has been involved in illegal activities for decades. For years, the family was accused of profiting from World War II and establishing businesses with organizations that funded Hitler's government. However, after it was revealed in 1943 that a Polish mining interest, Prescott Bush, was invested in using forced labor from Auschwitz, Bush distanced himself and engaged in the collection of funds for the victims of the war. The 2 presidents were accused of benefiting from wars. These allegations may be from those against Prescott Bush, as it is well known that George Bush Sr. never wanted a war against Iraq, and it was the consistent poke from Britain that finally spurred him to action. Whatever the case, having had 2 members become presidents of the most powerful country has put the family on the international radar, making them the most powerful family in the world. Power might be intoxicating, but a powerful family helps one another become a better version. I trust you want to know more about powerful families. Do watch the next intriguing video.